Hi, I'm Katie with Miller Artistry, and we're back for another episode of Beautiful You. And today's episode is So What If I'm Young? And today's verse is 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, in faith, and in purity. A lot of times, because we're young, especially in like the teenage years and even the early like 20s, we're stuck in this really awkward place where we feel like a grown-up, but people sometimes don't treat us that way. And it's so hard because you're like, I have grown-up thoughts, I'm a big person now, you don't have to treat me like I'm two. And yet they just don't respect us that way. And this verse kind of shows us how to get that respect. And sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes you just gotta smile and nod at people. But sometimes it will help if we show people we're mature in our speech and different things like that. So we're going to touch on each one of these. And the first was in speech. And gossiping and whining, and there's like a whole list. Cussing, all of these things really make us look very immature. So if we're trying to prove that we're a grown up, let's try to, make our words sound like we're a grown up and speak, like an adult. I've seen almost grown women at Walmart whining and cussing their mothers, and it's like, okay, obviously she wants to be treated like an adult, yet she's acting like, well, I wasn't even allowed to act like that at 2. So let's start talking like a grown-up and acting that way. In life, I think this one's good too because sometimes we confuse what being a grown-up is when we're a teenager, and there's the whole sneaking out and drinking and having sex, and well, these are all grown-up things. No, they're not. They're very immature, even for people who are 40. And being loose and getting lit and drunk every weekend doesn't make you appear to be an adult, and you're not going to get any respect for it. People are going to actually look down on you, and half the time it's illegal. So that's not a good way to have someone treat you like an adult. And other ways, that would be good. Volunteer to help somebody. Old people, that's a bad term, mature people, help them garden or take out their trash for them. There's, volunteer at the nursery and babysitting. These are things that are really good and show you're a mature person. You don't have to prove it by getting drunk. It's very simple. All you do is you drink. In love, we can be kind of cruel. We've talked about that before with hate, and that is very immature, to just hate people. So just start showing love to people, and sometimes it's very difficult, but if you think about it, you can find something you love about everyone, even if it is, I love when they're quiet, whatever. And just showing people love instead of hate and attitude, that's a really good way to show you're an adult and mature. In faith, I know so many, many, many Christians, and some people actually have even said this to me and probably feel that way about me, so I'm not saying I'm not on this list, but we say we're saved, but sometimes we don't act that way. And it's very immature to say I'm a Christian and then go and live this completely different life and not care about the Lord at all and what He wants and thinks and says about our lives. So one way to show we're mature is to really not just say, hey, I'm a Christian, but then to live that life and show people in our actions in our lives. And in purity, and we just talked about that in the episode before. I know it's one of those topics that's like, oh, that's outdated. Well, I waited until I was married. It didn't kill me. Even if it felt like it some days, I'm still here. And I know others who have. And it's going to be more of a struggle because it's not something that's accepted like it used to be. It's looked down upon. But you can do it. And if you need someone to talk to, I'm definitely here. And there are other women or men, if you're a boy, to talk to about this. And just don't worry about what people think. Just because you're not having sex doesn't make you less of an adult. Most likely it makes you more of an adult because you know time and place and when it's appropriate to do that. I don't really have like a beauty topic for this because it was kind of a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know. I really didn't think this far ahead, and that's kind of sad. I think we're just going to skip that part for today, and if I come up with something, I will put it in the little box at the bottom, which is really sad, but it's been one of those weeks, and I've been sick. I passed boards, and thank you for everyone who's praying, and I guess that's it for today, so thank you for watching this episode of Beautiful You.